I'll let any of the candidates jump in first.
I'll take a swing at it. Being down in Hampton Roads, we're definitely out of the belt of Northern Virginia, but it's still a huge concern down here. Every town hall that we have had in every city has been packed, packed out. People are very engaged and concerned about what's happening on the federal level, and they're coming to their state representatives and to their local leaders for answers because sadly, we haven't been able to hear from our congressional member here in CD2. So we have been, been having those town halls, meeting people where they are. But it's so important that we work as a team because it's going to take all of us to tackle these issues together. And sadly, we did lose our number one in business. Now we're number four because we see what's happening to our federal workforce and the funding reduction. And just to give off a couple numbers from the last time when that committee met, just to look at a 1% reduction to our federal workforce, you're talking about 1,800 jobs from our federal workforce and almost 4,000 state employment state jobs, and that trickles down to almost $611 million in GDP loss and almost 25 million in tax revenue. And that's just at a 1% cost reduction. So any reduction is harmful. When you hear the rhetoric that, this won't hurt and, we can bellwether, the brunt of these blows, any reduction to our federal workforce, any cut to our budgets is going to have a dramatic impact to how we fund our schools, how we invest in infrastructure, how we invest in healthcare. So these are, real concerns and real numbers. And like we always say in the General Assembly, show us your budget and we'll show you your values.
And I'll just piggyback off of what Delegate Clark just shared. What's happening in DC is absolutely not an abstraction for Virginians in particular. We face the disproportionate harm to the federal workforce. We are seeing our veteran communities impacted, closures of services that are provided to our VA hospitals. And now with the Medicaid cuts, we're going to see very direct and very severe impacts, not just to our rural hospital systems, but all throughout our hospital healthcare system. One thing that we highlighted in this morning's press conference is the ways in which all of our hospital systems are interconnected, how the destabilization of rural healthcare has a broad and sweeping impact directly to the services and to the workforce that provides so many critical healthcare needs for Virginians. And so when we on the campaign trail are talking about Donald Trump or the Republicans, it's not just empty rhetoric. It's far from that, because we are highlighting the ways in which the actions of the Trump administration and the recklessness of congressional leadership, the Republican congressional leadership, the ways in which that is having a direct and significant impact on the lives of Virginians. And that those impacts are going to begin to be seen even more directly and severely over these next few months as the economy is impacted, as small businesses are suffering from the loss of federal jobs, and as our schools are taking a hit in this fall. And so these are real problems for Virginians, and we are providing an opportunity to change the direction, at least here in Virginia, with these upcoming elections.
I just want to pick up
Yeah.
on a thread here that I think is really, really important. When we think about telling the story of what is happening in Washington and its impact on communities all across the country, I think it's really important to note that we have Democrats at this ballot level in office in every single state. And that means in places like Delegate Clark mentioned, where there is a Republican member of Congress who is dodging their constituents and is not showing up to tell the story of the good work that they're doing in Washington, that we've got state legislators who are filling that gap, who are standing up holding town halls, meeting with community members, meeting with community groups who are going to be impacted, who have concerns, who are expressing their fears. And that is happening not just in Virginia today, although the election, of course, makes that a very meaningful moment. But that is happening all across the country. The absence of Republicans and the gap that is being filled by state legislators, by state legislative leadership across the country is pretty incredible. So there's no way that these state legislators, these legislative candidates are going to let their communities not understand what is going on. So I just wanted to pick up on that. I thought that was very important as we think about the absence of these congressional members and the way in which our folks at this ballot level closest to their communities, best able to represent the connection between the actions Republicans are taking and the impact on their community members' lives and the accessibility of services inside their districts.
And I'll just add to, I think that as we're out talking to everyone in the community, which will include independents and Republicans, it's going to be really important to highlight the fact that this bill that was just passed federally not only is going to cut life-saving services to people, but also will add trillions of dollars with a T to the federal deficit. And so when we, talk about promises made, promises not kept, I think that that's going to be a huge piece that we should rightfully lean into because, we will see all of the detriments, but none of us will see that quote unquote trickle down from certain people getting their pockets lined with a lot of money while the rest of our community suffers. And so we have a really great opportunity to make that highlight from the federal level while also saying that the state legislature will be responsible for strengthening the social safety nets that we're going to absolutely need at the state level because of all of these detrimental cuts.